my first 3 months worth of spending and my first 3 months worth of saving slash investing. I count investing as savings. I don't really count putting aside money towards my sinking funds as savings because I feel like I'm gonna spend that very quickly. And investments I guess is for long term thinking. But after that, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my budget for April. I already went ahead and budgeted out my first paycheck that I used for April off camera a couple weeks ago. I hope to have timestamps below. So for the first 3 months of January, I have spent a lot. My total income has been $22,719, more or less. That's the gross amount. I have gotten quite a bit of cash back. I did get my Costco certificate back, and that's not including $129 that I spent when I went to Costco. They just gave me the remaining amount. All of that has been going towards my yearly membership sinking fund that I have. For living, rent is $1,200. It's gonna go up to $1,275 in May. Utilities has been pretty good at 118, 113. 113 is the average. Phone is really low because my cousin gave me her amount for the full year. So when she gave me that amount, it served as a credit. Groceries, $243 on average. I think that's pretty good as well. That is not accounting only one trip, the one I did with Costco for like $149 or something like that, or $160. I don't remember what it was. But I didn't really record that expense because I used the certificate that I got from them to pay for that, and then they gave me the rest in cash. Transportation has been pretty high. In January, I got into a little incident. No one else was involved, and it was like a dirt road that I was driving in. I fell down a small little hill or ditch. I don't know what it was, but I went ahead and fixed that up. I also paid in January 6 months worth of insurance. I added on my old car that I used to have while I was driving it, while my other car was getting fixed. My old car I left with my sister, and she's been driving that one, but it's pretty much, it's the car that I bought. It's mine, and well, it's not mine anymore. Okay, it's not mine anymore. But they let me use it when I need to, and luckily I didn't have to rent out any cars. Have you guys seen those stories of people renting out cars, returning it, and then the business reports the car stolen to the police or something like that? And then on top of that, the people get taken to jail. Yeah, so I was about to rent a car, but then I just used my old car. And they hadn't been driving it because in my old car, it needed a new battery. So I bought a new battery for my old car. And I added it for the time that I was driving it onto my insurance as well, but just the basic coverage. Health and beauty has been pretty high. It was pretty hard in March because I had a bit of impulse spending. I tend to get nightmares. I had a really bad night one time. I couldn't go back to sleep and I spent a lot of money. I have not regretted most of my purchases. I bought really nice running shoes at $150. I've ran half marathons, I've ran marathons, and the highest I've spent on running shoes was probably like under $60, usually $30 to $40. And so that was that, and I do not regret it. I bought some braces for my knee. One time I just ran too much after not running for a long time, and I messed up my knee, but it's good. It's good. I can still run quite a bit with that. What else did I buy? Oh, I bought a whole dumbbell set for like $200, and yeah, I tend to start off strong, and yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Giving on average is $556. That does include, I think, one flight and funeral expenses for when my grandma passed away, and then just general overall giving that I don't really think I need to get into detail about those. A sweet place, that's more like guilt-free spending. I know I have a whole category saying guilt-free spending, but everything else here under this category is guilt-free spending for me. Usually, here's the $150 I spent on my running shoes and books. Most of this has been Audible memberships. I canceled that already. And then travel includes, I went to Mexico in January and I also went to Mexico in February. I think this also includes extra flights for my mom. Then for invest, so that's it for my spending overall. Let's go ahead and take off the investing category just to see how much I spent overall. And total, $13,858. That's an average of $4,619 per month, which is pretty darn high, but you know what? No regrets. This year started off strong. So, yeah. I mean, my ideal spend would be like around probably like $3,000, but I have no qualms, nothing I would do different. I still spend however I liked. Yeah, because a main reason is because a lot of my savings and investing for long-term spending in retirement is still on the up and up. It's still very positive. So we're in 2024. At the end of this year, I'm going to be 33. My estimated income for this year is about $82,426. And my overall goal is to invest 25% of my gross income at a minimum. So with that being said, I need to invest $1,717 a month. So far into my pension, $2,683 has been placed in there. $1,716 into my Roth. I invest automatically every Monday into the Roth, and Vanguard does the calculations to figure out, every Monday the amount so that I can max it out by the end of the year. 457B, this does include employer match. Is total so far is $3,893, almost at $4,000. That's pretty good. And I invest $50 every month into my brokerage. One thing I want to do in the next 3 months is, if I have leftover money in my grocery category or my eating out category, mainly eating out category, I want to kind of like skim off the top and not let it roll over, and instead put it into my brokerage. So I'll show you guys in a bit how that's working out. Total so far into long-term investing for retirement is $8,443. That means I am 40.98% of the way there, which is amazing. Now on to budgeting out my April, or finishing up my April paycheck or April budget. As you can see, going down to investments, this is the category where my brokerage stuff comes out of. I have $168 that I've been able to skim off of some categories to be able to invest in the brokerage account on top of my regular $50 a month. I do have overspending in gifts, as I tend to do, so I'm going to cover that. I received $117 from mileage reimbursement, so I always like to put that all back into transportation because it comes in handy. And I received $65 in cash back, so that would go under my yearly memberships to cover those. Total for the year, I have to have $594, so I just need $94 more. I think. Yeah, anyway. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe less. So that leaves me with $2,131 left over, which is similar to what I normally get paid. In my first paycheck that I used to budget for April, I did get like an extra $200 to $300 worth of overtime pay that I did. I said I wasn't gonna do overtime, but I don't know. As you can see, I've been spending a lot, so I figured I would do it. But I'm not sure going forward. It's always a battle in my head. So let's go ahead and fund the rest of rent, which is going to be totaling $1,200, the last month of it being $1,200. Utilities is covered. Phone, I'm going to do a little higher because there were like 3 months where I paid for international data. For that, just to make sure it's funded. Groceries is funded. All of this is pretty good. Renter's insurance is all paid for. It's going to be due in April. And health and beauty is good. Household is also well and dandy. Family support is $300 every month. Christmas, $75. And gifts and giving, $100. There we go. That covered the overspending. For a new phone, new computer, I added appliances on here because just in case eventually I want to get a washer dryer combo, so this will help me get a little there. I have a washer that I bought and it's too big for the outside area of my patio, so if I wanted to buy a dryer I couldn't because that washer's too big and the dryer wouldn't fit in that area. So I'm stuck with air drying my clothes, although it has made my clothes last longer. Sometimes it's just a lot. It's too much. It's too much. But I'm going to go ahead and click underfunded here for these. Wedding is $50. I think I will be renting out, not renting, booking a room for the wedding day. And then okay, clothing, I'm going to try to leave at $10. Let's do that. Eating out is fine. Books, $3.69 to leave it at $50. Travel, I'm trying to set aside $500 a month, and guilt-free spending, how much? Guilt-free spending, $50. Okay. It says here $171.69 more left to budget for the remainder of the month for the Roth IRA. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Investments is pretty much covered, but I'm going to add the $25 that I budget with every paycheck for that. And that leaves me with $234.92. I'm actually going to fund my rent. Oh, it's already funded. Oh my gosh. Well, so when I did that a lot of that overspending in March, I shifted a lot of my categories and I was able to get 1 month ahead in my basic living expenses. Even some of these expenses I could probably cut off in a really, really big emergency type of situation, but this is like what I felt comfortable with budgeting out for, and I was able to fund everything. I was about to put an additional $75 to my rent, but it's already accounted for, so goodbye. None of that anymore. $234.92 is pretty sweet. I'm gonna put another 100 to family support, and then the rest I'm just gonna leave in guilt-free spending. So I guess, I mean, that amount is basically what the main reason I have that extra amount is because of the overtime that I worked. Should I put it? That to me tells me that I should be working overtime because I like having a little extra money. Let's see, Rafa. But honestly, while I was working the overtime, I almost felt like paying my employer to have the day off instead of them paying me. Go free spending. And then whatever I have at the end, I don't. You know what? I think I'm gonna go to Sequoia on one of these weekends. So I'm gonna add $50 here. $50 to transportation to account for that. $34.92. Actually, I'm gonna put that in investing here. $34.92. There we go. And that's that. I'm liking the travel fund right now. And my goals for the next 3 months, I really like the idea of a 12-week year where instead you set your goals for every 3 months instead of the entire year. My goals for these next few months are going to be to try to invest a little extra into my brokerage account, counting some leftover money, like trickling left, like little amounts of money in some of my categories that I can like shave off of the top and try to invest a little more into my brokerage. Maybe, who knows? That was the idea anyway. And then continue to invest into my 457B, the 15% in my Roth IRA, of course. But aside from that, financially, I didn't really have any more goals. For personal goals, I do want to run 1 mile for 1 mile 3 times a week, which I think is pretty manageable because I used to run like 8 miles, 5 miles, and then when I was training for marathons, I'd be running 13 miles, 14 miles, 18 miles. But now I'm not looking for like meeting big goals. I'm looking for consistent and steady progress that will help me live longer and have a longer lifespan, but at the same time a longer, healthier lifespan, because even if you live long, it doesn't mean you'll have a lot of years as an able-bodied person. It's, we have to treat our bodies well. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.